So this may be more of a laid-back video. I'm timing this because each cut can only be so long because my phone can only hold so much footage. But I want to talk about the recent TikTok ban. And I think that's a good place to start because so many people throw around the word TikTok ban as if we know that that is the only possible outcome or that it's even going to go through. So what is this whole TikTok ban situation? I don't want to pretend as though this video is going to be a very formal discussion about it. Everything I'm about to briefly bring up is true right now as of March 20th. It may change, and if it does, then future me will be able to go ahead and say what happened. Wow, that was very informative. Where was I? Anyways, this is not going to be a complete rundown of what's going on. I mostly want to give my thoughts on this, but first, what is the TikTok ban? So right now, as far as I'm aware, there are two bills in Congress. One is being pushed predominantly by Republicans. It is HR 1153. It's being pushed in the House. I'm not really sure if it's passed the House, because this said it passed the House, but this says it hasn't. Maybe it just passed a vote to introduce it, which would make sense because I don't think that the House only has 30 people. See, kids, you don't have to be good at research. You just have to be smart. But anyways, this bill gives more power to the president and names TikTok specifically. I can't remember if it was banning TikTok or putting sanctions on TikTok, but it also puts sanctions on other Chinese apps. There is another bill, however, in the Senate. It is a bipartisan bill, and it's called the Restrict Act. I think it's being mostly pushed by Democrats, and it gives a special committee power instead of the president to investigate and ultimately ban any foreign apps. Which I think sounds better, but that may just be biased media coverage trying to make it sound better. A thing to understand with these two bills, and like I said, and I'm trying to get around to saying, we don't know if TikTok's going to be banned. They may just put some sanction on TikTok, or TikTok may sell some part of itself to an American-based company. And so if I seem like scatterbrained in trying to explain it, it's literally just me saying, we don't really know anything. People are kind of freaking out about nothing. I mean, it isn't nothing because yes, this discussion has popped up before in the past and nothing came of it. But now there definitely is a lot more momentum, especially since the whole Chinese spy balloon thing. So will it be banned? Will it not? We don't really know. What I think is more interesting and what I want to talk about is what has been the reaction so far. Because it's so weird to see how everyone else, especially people who make similar content to me on TikTok, are responding to this. Because a lot of people are questioning the legitimacy of this. Are we really banning TikTok because of security threats because of the Chinese government? Or, as some have suggested, is this a disinformation campaign by a company like Meta? Because a lot of people are looking at Meta and other companies and how they've been trying to deal with TikTok and thinking that this may be some point of corruption, which is entirely possible. I haven't really looked through the information myself. I've just seen that and other videos about how people think that this is silencing free speech, which I understand, and I don't want to delegitimize either of these claims. I understand that it is strange that the government can come along and just destroy an entire platform of free speech. And certainly, yes, that is, a discussion that should be had. And like I said, I don't want to try to pretend that it isn't. But all this just sort of brings me to my thoughts on this situation, which is here you have all of these people who were saying that TikTok was so predatory towards children. These same people who said that TikTok was censoring conservatives. And who also, not to say that everyone should think a certain way just because they're aligned with a certain party or a certain ideology, but these same people should love the isolationist policy that this is. I mean, sure, you can look at it as corruption, and again, I'm not trying to delegitimize that. But you can look at it as corruption and, Android boy, lizard man is, trying to take out the competition. But, can't we also look at this as, hey, we're bringing jobs to America? Isn't that something that, conservatives tell us that we should want? And for everyone who thinks that I am so partisan, here I am questioning my own party. Although I guess I'm not really questioning my own party because the GOP is kind of unanimous for wanting to ban TikTok. It's just the people on TikTok. These people say all these awful things about TikTok, but then turn around and act as though it's the last bastion of free speech. And they say that we'll lose real news. What the hell does that mean? I'm one of the people who reports on the news on TikTok. And when these other people report on the news, they're just pointing at headlines. What do you mean by reporting on the news? Showing these clips from Tucker Carlson, a man who's a part of legacy media and will exist after TikTok gets banned? Legacy media will still exist. Other apps will still exist where people can share news. TikTok was never like some amazing place for news. I think a lot of you just don't try to verify any of these TikTok news videos. It's a lot of misinformation. I'm saying this as someone who is conservative leaning. Like, what was the story I shared not so long ago where someone posted a video about how someone reported on Rittenhouse winning some case that he didn't. And I saw that on TikTok and I was like, oh, well, that must be true. And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, it's not. But you guys are like, oh, this is such a great place for news. It's not. It's not. And people also say that it's bringing us together. Like, all of these things are being said by people who are losing followers. And I get it. That sucks. If TikTok gets banned, I go from 100,000 to maybe 200. You know, I get it. But just be vulnerable and say that's what you hate about it. Don't like twist the facts. And I hate to seem like I'm attacking mutuals or people on this app who make similar content. Because again, I get the concerns about freedom of speech. I get the concerns about corruption. And if TikTok is sold to like Meta, I'm probably going to be pissed off. But like, why are you guys defending TikTok so much? It is a terrible place. It isn't bringing us together. Do you know when ByteDance, whatever it is, bought Musical.ly and turned it into TikTok? 2017. Do you know when political correctness became insane? 2017. And that isn't just my anecdotal evidence. I've looked this up and there seems to be a sort of consensus that the greatest cultural decline was 2017. Like, I don't know what app you guys are using where it isn't just a leftist psyop. But all the videos TikTok recommends to me, absolute garbage. It is trying to brainwash me into becoming a leftoid. And that has never happened to me on any other app. And maybe this is just me trying to be an optimist, trying to find a silver lining, trying to make myself happy about what could happen if it does happen. And maybe I just really want to believe that this is true, but I kind of think that maybe this is the left, the mainstream left, realizing that the radical left is going to be the end of them. This is the left realizing that they can no longer pander to this insanity. And so they are trying to de-radicalize themselves. Because they understand that TikTok is a Chinese psyop to destroy our nation. But for whatever reason, I'm the only one that sees it that way, I guess. And so many people are like, oh, free speech, blah, blah, blah. On this app that, you know, is predatory towards children and censors us. I just don't get it. I'm gonna be upset if TikTok gets banned because obviously I lose followers, and I understand anyone who feels that same way. And I will get upset if this is an act of corruption and it is sold to some big American company. But like, at the end of the day, TikTok is garbage. It is a Chinese spy app. They kind of do bring up a good point about whether or not we should ban it. So, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Something I kind of wanted to share because I hate TikTok. I hate it. I don't like this much better, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Never really shared that, but there we go. Now TikTok, all of TikTok will hate me. So, yay.